All right. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for those who are able to be here live and in person, and thank you to those who are listening to the replay. This is our first Sister Leaders Conference meeting with our authors and our speakers, and later it'll be also with our vendors. We will be having monthly meetings to kind of keep everybody on the same page. We also have a private Facebook group that you will all receive an invitation to kind of keep people on the same page. I have found over the years that some people don't check their email, but they will check a Facebook group. And so I'm trying to just catch everybody, however way I can catch you. And so I will when I send out the replay, you will have a link to join the private, and it is private. It's not a public group, and it's going to have speakers, authors, and later it'll have some vendors in there. And so, just kind of want to go over some brief information, and then open the floor for any questions. But before we do that, since we do have a few people who are live and in person, and they happen to all be speakers and authors for the conference, I would love for everyone who is here to go ahead and introduce yourself, talk about your lane of brilliance. I'd like to know the name of your company and everything else that you want us to know in your introduction. And so we will get started with who's first on my screen. And so the person who's first on my screen is not even facing my direction. So that's Reverend Darlene. So turn around.
I know, I got the computer here, the iPad here, multiple screens. Hi, everyone. Nice to meet you. My name is Reverend Dr. Darlene Williams. I go by Dr. D, and I am the president and CEO of Darlene Williams Consulting and Restoring Bountiful Joy. We help individuals who have gone through life's challenges, tragedy, grief, help to get unstuck and to move forward in life, whether that is restoring joy, healing, talking about hidden grief, the things that keep them from moving forward. We mostly work with women and children. I actually just have been certified as a New York City DOE vendor. So I just launched 6 children's books, one for early education, one middle school, and one high school. Yes, that's a big deal. I just had a meeting today. We're going in all the public schools and charter schools in New York City and reading the books to the children, helping the faculty and the teachers set up a curriculum and talk to the students about the things that they're going through and that they are hiding, that is hindering their academic performance, their life with their friends, and also just academics. So that's me. I'm excited to be here and can't wait to talk with you all further. Thank you.
Awesome. So next is Dr. Natalie.
Well, hello there. I'm Natalie Holleran, the CEO of Till Hall Enterprise, where we provide coaching and training for leaders at the educational and business level with a heavy focus on human resources. I've been doing a lot of work and training with organizations and teams on mental health and ensuring that leaders are sensitive to the needs of their teams, and ensuring that with my human resource background, that the employee assistance programs are aligned to support as well. And I do grant management and other things too, but that's one of the heavier focus areas right now that I'm providing support to.
Awesome. And so next up is CC Strong.
Well, good evening, everybody. Can you hear me okay?
Yep, absolutely.
My name is CC Strong. I am a retired lieutenant with the LA County Sheriff's Department, recently retired. I'm going to shout it out on Rosa Parks' birthday. And the reason that it was that day selected is what brought me to the speaking world outside of law enforcement was that my husband ran for sheriff on the last ballot. And because he had all the intellect and all the perfect package, but he was the wrong color, I'm just saying, he was not selected for that position, but he did come in third right under the runoff. My businesses are both the World University of Jesus Christ, which is a faith-based clothing line where Christ is honored on the jersey along with a randomly selected scripture. So each customer doesn't know which scripture they're going to get on the authenticity label. My other business is the CC Strong Corporation, which has netted me the stages, hence what brought me here, international speaking as of last year. Because of what happened with my husband and the campaign, I became a political target. So I was placed under a fake investigation, transferred from my assignment, and I am happy to say I just won my arbitration in April. So the internal process, I was able to prove that I was not lying. And I am starting as of tomorrow. We have another court case for the civil claim externally. Let's see, training program, 7 C's of survival and sustainability to help officers use what's not on their gun belt, but their brains in order to do their job. That is one of the platforms, as well as Code 3 Conversations, which we are starting and just launched to be able to bring community and law enforcement together, and instead of just finger pointing, talking about what we can do to change and be more tolerant and accepting on both sides of that. I'm also looking to get into high schools and colleges to talk to more of our people, being as direct as I can, is that because the numbers are dropping in law enforcement and we can complain about it, but I want to be able to, as a consultant, help applicants from the first level so that we are loading their law enforcement leadership lockers. Then when they are on for 3 years to 9 months, leveraging law enforcement leadership, and finally bravery beyond the badge, where they don't fall prey to just the same old, but they are actually working to have people following them doing better in the job. In addition to that, I have 3 more books in the series coming, and I have been telling the story in snippets so that people can see that you can be mad resilient, which is part of what I will be speaking for in October, about. So mad resilience, being mentally, actively, demonstratively, and documenting everything, because the documentation saved my whole entire career, because they could have fired me based on what they accused me of. So I think that's a whole mouthful, but that is me. So nice to meet you all, and those who are watching, hello to all of you as well.
Awesome. So we are going to have these meetings monthly. And of course, you know, it is my desire that as speakers, authors, and even some of the vendors, that you all get to know one another. I certainly advocate and believe in partnership and collaboration. I think it can help all of us not only educate ourselves about each other's lane of brilliance, but also it can help us go far, because it can introduce us to each other's communities. And so certainly we'll do this once a month, but I did mention I do have a visual for you. So let me share my screen with the presentation. And it's not, I gotta go back, hold on. Yeah, I gotta go back up to, okay. All right, so is everybody see my screen? Yes, 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 yes. Okay. All right. So real quick. So of course, this year, prayerfully, everyone knows the date, October 3rd and 4th, because you all will be in the house. We'll be at the Rivers Casino, definitely at Portsmouth, Virginia. And so I'm excited. This is year 5. So this is our year 5 birthday. So we're going to celebrate, because no one likes a dull birthday, right? And so we're going to have a couple of surprises in the house for those 2 days. This is just some of the people, you know, leading up to year 5. And so we've had some quite impressive people who have graced the stage of sister leaders. And so me being a global speaker myself, I always had my eye on certain people. And I said, when I had my own event, I will get this person and get that person. And God has made it happen. Everyone that I have said would grace my stage has graced my stage up into this point. And so I'm pretty proud that these individuals have joined the mission of sister leaders over the years. And so I am looking forward to this year, year 5. So we will be at the Rivers Casino. This is just some of the places that are inside of the casino for those who haven't been there. These are the eatery places. And so You can find all of this information on the website, and I would put the casino website on next month's visual, but you have different places to eat in the casino, so you won't go hungry while you are there. Housekeeping. So, couple of things. I will encourage you to check your email regularly. Please, 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 and thank you. I got that from Dr. Tabitha Russell. So please and thank you. Check your email regularly. Although I do have most of your numbers, I don't like to use your numbers because you're not answering my email. I prefer to reach out to you and text you to just say, hey, good job. Nice seeing you. How you doing? As opposed to did you read your email type thing. And so I will ask that you check your email regularly because that is the way that I communicate. And the communication will pick up because my team has officially started this month of June. And so I have a number of different teams that help me out with the conference. And so email is our preferred way of communication. Want to also remind you that any deadlines that you get from myself or my team, they are not optional. They are critical. And they're critical to us staying on point within the timeline, getting things done when we need to get things done, whether it is publishing the anthology or whether it is adding the conference headers and footers to the virtual presentations. But any deadlines, if we give you a deadline, that deadline is critical. And so if there is any reason why you can't make the deadline and you know ahead of time, if you can let me know so that I can immediately get with my team about any workaround that may be needed, if there can be a workaround. But just know that I would prefer that you try to adhere any deadlines. And if deadlines are up to that date, so you can submit things early. We will make sure that we get links and different things to you early so that for if you have something planned for this summer and you want to just go ahead and submit certain things, we'll make sure that you have the link so that you can do that. As I mentioned earlier, we will have monthly meetings. They won't be any set day or time, but I will give you notice and they all will be recorded, just like today's meeting as well. I encourage all speakers to practice, 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 no matter how seasoned you are. I'm a seasoned speaker. I practice as well. Practicing will help you when your PowerPoint is not working for whatever reason. If audio determines that don't want to work, you can still go. It just allows you to stay on course if something goes awry. And so I encourage you to once you've decided what your live presentation is going to be, that you practice, 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 so that you can churn out that quality of a product that I know that you want to churn out. I encourage you to book your hotel and any flight information as early as possible. My team is working on a link for any, we have a link that has discount codes from the casino with hotels. That'll be in the ticket funnel for registration, which is coming out no later than the first week in July. But just put on your to-do list to book your hotel and any flights for those of you who are flying. Conference dress. Conference dress is business or business casual. Just want to put that out there. I understand that the term business casual can be interpreted in different ways by different people. But for the most part, we haven't had any problem in the previous years with someone being severely out of dress. And so what I will say is that dress for your brand, or dress in business, or dress business casual, and you should be fine. I have set up a private Facebook group, and when I send out the replay for this meeting here, I will go ahead and put the link in that private Facebook group, and that will be a group where you can post anything, any questions. I'll be posting information there. I will be using your email as well, but I will also post it in the Facebook group. My goal is to just make sure that you get timely information, you be aware of any deadlines, you have the opportunity to ask any questions, just to keep the lines of communication open. So for the speaker partnerships, and so the conference theme for this year is Her Voice, Her Vision, Her Victory. The only requirement that I ask is that you include any portion of that theme in your presentation. It doesn't need to consume your presentation. I want your presentation to be about your lane of brilliance. That's the reason why I said yes to each and every one of you, because I want your lane of brilliance specifically on the stage. And so you can include voice, vision, or victory, or you can include all, her voice, her vision, her victory, in your presentation, and you would have satisfied my requirements in terms of incorporating the theme. Timer. So for those of you, different packages, you have different speaking times, and so I will have timers in the room who will remind you when you are working down to your last 5 minutes, your last 2 minutes, or whatever the minutes may be. But again, I encourage you to practice, 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 because it is critical that you stay within the time allocated for your speaking engagement. So whatever time it is, if you don't know what your time is, reach out to me. I will tell you. And I can get you that information, because it is different times for different packages for different speakers. PowerPoint presentations are A-okay, but not required. So it depends on whatever your style is. If your style is one that you do not use a presentation, then by all means, you don't have to create a presentation for this event. But if you are a speaker who utilize presentations, I do utilize presentations, then by all means, the casino is high tech. And so we have huge screens in the room and all the high tech that you can think of that will help facilitate your presentation. Entry music. So we do, if you have a song that you'd like to walk up on the stage in after your bio is read, then I will be asking that information as we get closer to the conference. And if you have a specific, like if you have a song that has been remade by 15 different people, then you'll have to let the DJ know what version it is that you want. And in some instances, I've even had people provide the YouTube link and the time that they wanted the DJ to start the song. And so again, we want this, experience to be one of your own. And so I will be asking about your entry music. And so it's not required at all. Be thinking about what that is for when I request that information. So for your live speaking, so for your speakers, you have multiple ways that you're going to be presenting your information. So you have the live speaking from the stage. When you are speaking live from the stage, you can lead generate, but you cannot sell directly. So what do I mean by that? So what I mean by that is make sure that you use some type of QR code, Talkadot, or whatever program, so that you can get one's email address or phone number, so that you can continue to cultivate a relationship with them after your presentation. And so make sure you have some type of way to collect their information through that, some type of process. Also, all live speakers also participate in the virtual conference. You don't have to, but it is an option for you to do so. And so for the virtual presentation, it is much longer than the live stage presentation. So your virtual presentation will be pre-recorded. It'll be submitted to my team, who will put a conference header and footer on it. You will also get a copy of that about 60 days after the conference, but it is 20 to 30 minutes pre-recorded. you can straight out sell your product or services in the virtual. So that's the difference between the two, and that's why you have the two. So in the virtual presentation, you can sell your book, your program, your class, your webinar, whatever it is, your consulting that you have directly in the virtual presentation. You can show it up on the screen, however way you want to do it. On the live stage, you are only lead generating. So that's the difference between the two. So let's talk about some of the other deliverables that are part of the conference. And so almost all of the speaker packages include multiple ways to show your lane of brilliance. And the whole reason that I have so many different ways that you show your lane of brilliance is my goal is by the time you reach the stage in October, that individuals will know what your specialty is, what your programs are, and they will know you. And so by the time you hit the stage in October, I want them to know exactly who you are and what your lane of brilliance is. And so that's the reason why I show you in so many different ways. And so this is the anthology. I believe this is your first time seeing the cover. So the anthology title is Her Pen, Her Piece, The Power of Silence. And so we'll get into the specifics of what you need to provide in that. I have a slide just for each thing. But really it is, how do we leverage and use silence in an intentional and strategic way? And you want to talk about how and when you did it, and what that experience were for you. And so let's kind of talk about each one of these deliverables. And so most of you have already, if you haven't, then you need to get with me. One of the first things that we're doing is scheduling people for the guest speaker presentation. And this is CC Strong. She is next up. She is June 9th. And so you are have your presentation and you have 3 talking points. These presentations are between 30 and 45 minutes and allow 15 minutes for questions. It is live, although I will be recording it. And so the reason why I record it is to put it on the YouTube channel so that you can also have a copy of it as well. You can directly sell in this presentation that's going to be in the Sister Leaders community as well. A copy will live in the Sister Leaders community, but you can directly sell. So the same requirements for the virtual presentation for the conference apply for your guest speaker. It is to show you and your lane of brilliance and your area expertise. And so that is the guest speaker option as part of your package. Next is the podcast. And so for those of you who've had the privilege of me interviewing you, that is where I do some digging on you, and then I come up with a whole lot of questions to ask you. And so it is really to show you in your area expertise. It is to highlight you. The podcast is all about you. Again, that is recorded. That will be live on our YouTube channel. We will also upload after the conference. All of the podcasts will be up on Apple as well. And so again, the whole purpose of all of these different products is to show you in different modalities, highlighting your lane of brilliance. Hold on, I gotta go back. So the anthology. So now that you have and I'll have put this in the Facebook group and it'll also go out in the email. Now that you have the title, Her Pen, Her Piece, The Power of Silence, and Anthology, it is, your chapters are going to consist of 1,000 to 1,500 words. You can write about any opportunity, experience where you strategically use the power of silence. And if you cannot think of a time that you use the power of silence, I will challenge you to really think, because as a gender, we really do use the power of silence in our lives. And so You want to write about how you strategically and intentionally use the power of silence. And, you know, if it was a situation where, you know, you came out better on the other side, then share that in the chapter as well. And if that's not a situation where you came out better, but it is a real and a raw situation, then just tell us about it. Whatever you feel comfortable sharing. Please make sure that you have a title for your chapter. The title is to be less than 10 words. And we do have all of the chapters professionally edited. The due date is August 1st. So we're already in June. Where the goal is, if we get them all in on time, get the editing done and get the book cover done and everything, I would like to have it released during the conference. Generally, in the past, we've released it right after the conference, but if we can get everything in on time and everybody follows the timeline, I would love to have the book signing sometime during the conference. And so that is my goal. So right now the due date is August 1st, 1,000 to 1,500 words. You don't have to worry about formatting because we have an editor for that. And it will be professionally edited.
Can I ask a
Just
quick
kind of-
question about that? I'm sorry.
Absolutely. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Inside the anthology, will our face be anywhere on that page or just our
Yeah.
name and our words? I wasn't sure what that would look like.
Yes. So my anthology, your face is on the beginning of your chapter and on the back cover. So it's in two places. At the beginning of your chapter, I have she usually does like a circle or something that has your face, your name, your title. And then your face is also on the back cover. Awesome. So just want to go over the virtual speaker presentation again. So the virtual speaker presentation, again, this is 20 to 30 minutes pre-recorded. So however way that you record things, whether it's Zoom or StreamYard or whatever, you're welcome to have your virtual backgrounds or whatever, but I would encourage you to if you do that, just understand that we're going to be putting the headers and footers from the conference on it. So it may look very busy if you do use the virtual background, but we will apply the conference header and footer on it. You will receive a copy of it to add to your digital footprint about 60 days after the conference. This will be the pre-conference kickoff, which will be the Thursday before the live conference. So it'll be all day on Thursday. We'll do the pre-conference kickoff. Don't worry about it because you'll also get a VIP link that'll give you access to all of the recordings after the conference if you're at work or something like that. But the pre-conference kickoff is the day before the live conference, which is that Friday and that Saturday. All right. And so right now I will answer any questions that you may have. Hopefully this has been informative for you. For those of you who find that you have a question and I have not answered it, you're welcome to email me. Email me at admin@drkarenhillsprudent.com. And I will get back to you, or you can text me for those of you who have my number. And I'll get back to you. Most of you have my number as well. And so any questions about anything, because someone else may have that same question.
I have a quick question. I know there's a gala. The gala is, let me turn my phone off, sorry. The gala is that Thursday night
Saturday.
or Saturday?
Saturday. So the gala, so on Friday is a networking event, and the evening is going to be like 7 to 9 or 7 to 9:30. It's really going to be dancing, a little bit of music, a little bit line dancing, not just dance. So you can line dance. I have 2 millennial daughters and a millennial son, but he won't be there. But I have 2 millennial daughters. And so my daughter is a I call her a hype woman, but she's a person that people invite to conferences to keep the crowd moving. She call them cardio bits or whatever. And so she'll be doing that networking time. Others may be talking and just getting to know each other. They'll DJ will be playing all of the line dancing, and so she'll be leading those dances for those who are interested in learning those dances. And so that's on Friday. Saturday, the gala is after 5 attire. That is from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. And after 5 does not mean long gown, although certain individuals wear long gowns. I wear a long gown, but it is just after 5 because it is a gala. It is a plated dinner. We'll have awards, we'll have music, and we'll be recognizing women leaders globally. And so we'll have a good time. And that's usually there in the who's who in different industries will be in the room. And so that'll be on Saturday.
Okay.
Great question. Any other question about anything about the venue, about the agenda? So I usually finalize the agenda possibly like a week before the conference once I get everybody's titles, and I have a way based on what your title is or how I group your speaking, as well as I consider your mannerisms as well. So, I want someone who might be a very hype to open us up. And then if you're very laid back and I know your style, then I may put you in the middle. It's just depend on what I know about you, but I usually finalize the agenda a week before, and then I give it to y'all as soon as I know, I give you the information. So if I don't give it to you, I haven't finished it yet, still working on it, but we will be rolling things out. I'm very transparent. I share everything with you. I don't like for you not to know. I like for you to kind of know everything that's going on, because that cuts back on my emails and the questions that we have. Any other question about anything about the anthology, about your live speaking, about your virtual speaking? If you haven't done the podcast, about the podcast, any questions? Cece.
And just so I'm gonna talk to me like I'm two, and if I missed this somehow, is there something that you needed for me before Monday, or I'm just going live and you're recording that day?
Yep, that's it.
Okay,
You're going
I just want to
live
be
and
clear.
Yep, that's
Okay.
it. You're doing a live session. I'll hit the record button. Everything will be posted with your full bio, so we don't even read your bio. We just introduce you by name. But nope, that is your online class. I usually I act as your admin.
Love
I'll
it.
fill the chat and all that stuff, and let people in so that you can just teach the class. And I like to learn. I don't know if y'all heard Dr. Dwight's the other day, but oh my God, his class was awesome. And his story is awesome. You'll find, if you want to know some of the speakers' stories, they tell a little bit in their story when when they talk about the things that they've went through. And so yeah, it's all about you. And I'm excited to hear about all that you have to say. Mad resilience.
I have another question. I'm sorry, that's that A-type visual trying to
Okay.
visualize a
Okay.
person in
So
me.
I'm gonna say one thing to you. Sure, you can ask your question, but as a sister leader, I'm gonna ask you to stop apologizing for asking a question. You do not have to apologize. Female leader, you are welcome to ask as many questions. This is what this forum is for you to ask questions. But sometimes us as women leaders, we apologize, and there's no need to be apologizing. I'm here to answer your question. So how can I help you, Natalie?
Okay, this is the last one.
It don't have to be the last one neither.
I know. I just feel like I'm the only one. I'm talking like I've missed something or need to wait a minute. I don't want to jump ahead, but I was wondering, as far as setting up as a vendor, if that's part of our packet with the backdrop and all that, would that come later and somebody else will reach out?
That's gonna come later. So you have a vendor table.
Yes.
So it's a table, and it is gonna come later because I have specific instructions for you as a vendor this year, because um you have to break it down and put it back up each day. Last year we could leave it up, but this year the casino has a concert. They're having a concert that night, and where you'll see where we're set up is the lobby outside of the concert. So because they got a concert, people be lining up, and so I don't want y'all stuff out there. So you'll need to break down and set up. And so I will have very specific information that I'll be providing on vendors to let everybody know. So if you're bringing something bulky, you got to know that you got to break it down and put it back up on Saturday. And so I'm gonna give everybody enough notice. I was gonna wait and probably let people know about July and have a incorporate that in next month's meeting. But that is the only difference between this year and last year. Last year they could just cover it up. They covered it up with a cloth. But this year, because of the concert, I don't want your stuff out there. I believe in don't create opportunity for someone that has sticky
Right.
fingers.
That's right.
So.
Thank
But
you.
yeah, more. I over communicate, so you don't have to worry about me. You're welcome to ask me anytime, but people will tell you I over communicate. If I haven't told you yet, it's because I'm not ready to tell you yet because I'm still working it out. But yeah, you're welcome to ask me any question. And no question is, somebody else is probably wondering the same thing. All right. So if there are no further questions, I don't believe in holding. Y'all pretty, y'all cute and stuff, but I don't need to look at you for the rest of the night and stuff. And but I appreciate you, and I will send the replay out probably tomorrow morning. Because I don't want to sit around and wait for Zoom to send it to me tonight. So I'll probably send it out tomorrow morning with the email saying replay. And if you have any questions, reach out to me if you have whatever questions that you may have.
Great.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate you. Bye-bye.
Bye.